Derek McLeod, JCAL Tours.
Barrington Beckford, Maxi Tours, VP.
Denzel Gray, Maxi Tours, Montego Bay.
We do tours island-wide. We do transfer. We partially ensure and protect our tourists whenever time we pick them up. Whenever time we take them on tours, we normally stay around them to make sure everything is fine. Having Uber in our space would definitely affect us badly, because what Uber is doing is cutting our rates and then use private vehicles to transfer the people across Jamaica. Sometimes they pick up persons, the persons doesn't know who these guys are because they are private vehicles. We are registered, logo on our vehicle, numbers on our vehicle. So we believe our farmer transport is a lot safer than the Uber transport. So we are asking the government to don't allow Uber in our space because it is going to affect us badly. So we wanted to have a face-to-face meeting with the government to give him more in details as to what it will do to us. This is all I have to say. Okay.
Good evening, Jamaica on a whole. This message is for the people of Jamaica. It's also for the government. And it's also for the companies, transportation companies here on the island. My belief is we who are transport operators should not be going through what we're going through in regards to being infringed on. And then the companies that are infringing on our livelihood is being embraced by the government. The government must realize that we spend a lot of money in the Jamaican economy in regards to purchasing vehicles, in regards to staying licensed, right? Uniforms, everything comes into play. So we spend a lot as individuals to be able to operate. And our quarrel is that if you have a people that you're concerned about and you have an entity that would like to come in to do some type of service to your country, it is that you're supposed to be able to do a research or some type of investigation to see what type of damage this company can actually do for your country. Now, on Google, the history of Uber in regards to their operation in other countries. Yes, we heard the Jamaican government say that, or the news media said that they're operating in so many hundreds of countries and so forth. Yes, right? But what is their track records? How many countries have they been kicked out of because they've been dodging, being regulated, right? Uber don't bring nobody at Jamaica. Money don't stay here in the Jamaica. How does it benefit we as a people in Jamaica? Yes, they could have maybe paid off maybe a 1 or 2 person to be able to operate here on the island. But the overall picture is that, and the bottom line is that the people come to Jamaica for the guests, I should say, come to Jamaica, or the tourists come to Jamaica to see the liberty of the Jamaican people, to see how the Jamaican people live. And that experience should be produced by the Jamaican people that's in transportation, right? You have a foreign entity that has no concern about the Jamaican people. They don't have a vehicle here. They don't bring no one here. And they collect the majority of the revenue from a tour. You have individuals, and I'm saying this is to say, the government needs to see the growth of Uber here in Montego Bay, because I see in the news that they said that it's operating everywhere else on the island except for Montego Bay. Well, Uber been operating in Montego Bay for about 4 years now. I can bear witness to that. I work nights. And the reason why Uber has such a growth here in Jamaica is that there's no regulating Uber at night. I am talking from anywhere from 11 o'clock at night to 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. They run the clubs here in Montego Bay. They come from the resorts, white plate, 2-door, even that, I'm tempted to say even bicycle. They bring people to these clubs at night. There's no transport authority here looking out for Uber at nighttime. There's no police looking out for Uber at nighttime. They're making havoc on us as tour operators that is fully licensed to be able to operate even at night. They're coming off the ship, Uber. They're coming off the resorts, Uber. They're coming off the Airbnb, Uber. So what is left for us? Why is there nothing in place or in writing if the government mean us any good? We're the ones that voted for our government to be for us and by us. So what happened? Where did that go?
My colleagues, I've spoken on most of the issues that we're currently having. But one thing I want to highlight are for the consumers, persons who are contemplating or currently using this app, have opportunity to be in areas where these drivers bring their passengers and leave them. Because what you have to understand, what I've found out is that Uber is a one-way drop-off. And as it relates to Montego Bay, where I'm from right now, I've seen where they have dropped off guests in about 4 to 5 miles out of town, in the boondocks, you want to call it, in the bushes. And the guests are having problem now to come back to the city. Because whenever they try to get back to Uber, no one wants to take them back based on the prices that Uber are currently charging them. So that's going to be another problem for the consumer. You don't know if they'll come back for you, especially the guests, the tourists, that the area that they're coming in right now and trying to get business from the tourists. Secondly, I'd like to highlight is that you, the consumer, us as regulated drivers in the tourism industry, we have to go through different things. We have to do a fingerprint. We have to go through different stages to ensure that we're safe to take passengers. If any of us have committed any serious crime, we won't be allowed to transport tourists per se. So you, the consumer, especially the tourists, going in a vehicle with someone that you don't know, who's not even gone through the system, your life is at risk. So you have to bear in mind that your life could be at risk. The Grim Reaper could be in the driver's seat, taking it down the road there. So I'm just warning the consumer, be aware. Our prices are dictated by the government and the relevant authorities. Simple means they tell us how to charge, when to charge, and what to do. If Uber should be allowed in Jamaica right now, which they are now, they dictate their own prices. That's unfair competition for us. We cannot bring our prices down to that. We have to pay the government taxes, buy tires for our cars, gases, take care of our family, and be comfortable in this island. So if we try to compete against them, we won't be able to do all of that. What will happen to us is that our vehicles are going to break down. We can't buy gas. We can't pay the taxes that are supposed to be paid every year to the government, etc. And all of these things. So we see it as a problem for the future, for us, in the industry. And we are saying that Jamaica is too small to accommodate a big company like Uber. And the government and the relevant authority needs to see this. We have to be proactive, look for the future and the future of the people. And we're saying that we want Jamaica to grow in strength and to be better. This is one thing that's going to bring us down and bring the industry to a grinding halt. And people are going to suffer if we allow this company to come here because of the unfair practices and the unfair prices, and they're not regulated. So the consumers, one last thing I'd like to highlight again, be aware. You might see it as a cheaper option, but your life could be at stake.
Bless. My name is Douglas Younger. I'm a Juta cab driver. Well, today we all came out here because we have an elephant in the office or the cabinet or what you call it in the room. Our biggest concern right now is Uber. It was launched last week, Wednesday. Uber came to Jamaica to stifle, to take away our total inheritance, our foundation that we have built from 1973 to 74, because Juta, JCAL, and Maxi came into inception. Juta from 73, 74. And from that time until now, we have been doing a tremendous job. If you talk about tourism and you don't talk about Juta, JCAL, and Maxi ground transportation, you don't talk about tourism. So tourism and ground transportation goes hand in hand. So we have really been a trademark. We have been so much a trademark that people leave from here, go back to their country and said, listen, go to Jamaica and take etc., etc., etc. person. Because these people know that we are honest, reliable, and trustworthy. So you call that referral. And there's nothing, no advertisement as good as words that I can go back and say, go with this man. So Juta, JCAL, and Maxi have been a trademark for over 50 odd years. And after we have made our footprint, there is an elephant that came here to steal, to disrupt, to disintegrate not only Juta, JCAL, and Maxi, but the economy. Because based on what is transpiring now, if the government give these guys the opportunity to start to operate in Jamaica, every Juta, JCAL, and Maxi man, we have to do fitness, we have to do badge, we have to do insurance, we have to get JTB license, we have to put everything in place to be authorized by the Jamaica Tourist Board, the Transport Authority, TDP, all of those companies, and we are fully in appliance with all of that. Now, when we get the money from the tours, we spend that money to the different entity. So that money automatically enhance the economy and allow the economy to grow. So if our Prime Minister have anything to do with economics, you would have known that when a man come from foreign and not have no vehicle here, he just utilize people, and then if he undermine our prices, collect $100, give a man down here $30 out of it and keep 70. What happened to the $70? Where that $70 go? Go back in America. So the same money that the tourists bring to Jamaica automatically pay back to the Uber. Uber keeps 70%. How does the economy make any money from that? While when we collect our right prices, and a price that you would have taken $100 for, we would have taken 200 or 150, because we have tourists know that every hotel have a price list. So when the driver tell them, they go back to the resort, look on the list and said, okay, they are in compliance. So we are not robbing nobody at all. All of that $150 or all of that $200 go back right in the economy. So we are just asking the government to be like that woman in the Caribbean, in Barbados, her name is Mia Motley. He tell them, don't come to my country to take away my people resources, because I am here to defend the people. And like the most honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey said, don't give the job to the white man that the black man is capable of doing. But when you give the job to the black man and he doesn't see to it that the social well-being of his people, its citizen, is prioritized upon his or her agenda, we must burn him and his wife and his entire family. That is what the philosophy and opinion of Marcus Garvey said. So I am saying this to say he has to make certain that our concern must be prioritized on his agenda, or else we are going to take it to different level. So we are asking the government, just make certain that he see to it that his citizen is prioritized upon his agenda, because without the citizen, you cannot have an economy. And everybody knows that when you allow small man in your country to elevate, and the same money that he used to elevate, send his kid to school, go to the barber, call the mason man, call the plumber man, call everybody. That money keep the economy afloat, and that goes good for him, because that's the way the economy grow, that he can smile. But if he allow an expatriate to come into our country and take away the food, all of a sudden is extracting the resources, and who suffer? Everybody. So I'm just asking the government to do a serious introspection, to put our priority at number one on the agenda, and everything is all right. So The ball is in his court. We have said what we have to said. We are here and ready. So, respect.